Hey traders, it's Melissa with Price Plan Profit, and welcome to the daily trade recap. I want to recap day trades and swing trades from today, September the 3rd, 2025. I want to start off with the ES futures. Now, I don't trade futures, but I use SPX and SPY to trade based on this futures chart. These levels work amazingly well. And if you're a futures trader, I invite you to join us in the Trendy Trading Room. My trading partner, Trendy John, trades futures basically every single day. And we use the ES and NQ futures charts, sharing our blueprint for the day every single day so you know the levels that we're looking to execute off of. So let's talk about what this daily blueprint on ES look like today. First off, my ultimate target to the upside for this week remains the same, 6,500 to the all-time high of 65.23. My downside target or my buy zone for the week was actually already hit yesterday, and that is 6,400 to 63.62. So nice trade to the downside yesterday from the PMZ, and then again a nice trade from this buy zone or the target to the downside yesterday back up to the PMZ yesterday. But let's talk about the gray box here in the middle of my screen. This is the bearish golden pocket, or the golden pocket that we use in the trendy room, which is the 50 and the 618 fib. This is an area that, because we're measuring a downtrend from the all-time high to yesterday's low, this is an area that does represent bearish resistance on any moves to the upside. You can see that today's candles came up to that 618, and there was selling pressure there, and price came all the way back down to basically where we closed the prior day. And then buyers stepped in and we went right back up. So today equaled a day of chop, but there were opportunities to the upside and the downside today. And as long as you have a way to trade the chop. Of course, my favorite indicator, the PMZ, or the pre-market zone, is so simple in trading, whether it's a choppy day or a trending day, because if price is above the PMZ, I'm looking to go long. Price below the PMZ, I'm looking to go short. I have targets to the upside and the downside where I like to take profits and move stops as I am collecting those profits. Today's PMZ on the ES futures chart, your first entry would have came here at the open. That would be a downside play as price was rejected below the PMZ. The first target would have been here at 64.47, which is the bottom of the bearish golden pocket. That would have paid about 5 points there to the first target. Then the second target paid 11 points. Now from here, this is a lower trendy edge, a weekly edge, and it is a buying opportunity, especially with these trendy turn signal buy confirmation arrows. So the next trade to the upside on this daily blueprint would have come off of this weekly edge, making it to first target, which would have been about 4 points. Then second target again would have been about 11 points, and all the way up to the third target, which would have paid a nice about 20 points here to the upside. Then at the top of this bearish golden pocket, once we made a lower low, you could have traded this back to the downside. Now, I did not take this trade, and the reason being is once we got the higher or lower high, and then we got the breakdown candle, price was right at my first target, which is the PMZ. that was not a good enough risk to reward for me, so I chose not to take this trade. Vice versa, when price came back down to this PMZ, because the top of the cloud was right there, that also did not represent good risk to reward for me, so I did not take that trade either. The first trade that I took of the day was actually short below the PMZ. We flushed down below the PMZ on this big 5-minute candle. We came down into the first target. Then I waited for a retrace to the PMZ before going short. All right. I did not trade the ES, but let me show you on the SPY chart, which is what I day traded today, so that you can see the trade and see my targets. My first target below that PMZ was 641.67. That is where I was able to trim this position here. And then the second target came at 64.40, where I was able to trim, actually exit. I bought 2 contracts there and was able to exit my last contract there. Now, why did I go ahead and exit this contract rather than staying in the trade or potentially giving up profits? That is because notice the time here at about 2:35 or 2:40 Eastern time, and I want to show you where the ES was at that time. 2:35, 2:40, we came down into an important level. The 64.25 is where the line in the sand was at on the ES, and I was just thinking that more than likely price would bounce from there, as that is an important level on my chart. So I went ahead and exited my SPY puts when the ES came down into the line in the sand. So that is the day trades that I took today. I also had a trim on a swing position on Freeport. I chose to trim my position at the top of a supply zone. Now, I've since removed that zone from my chart. It was right here, a red zone or a sell zone, supply zone, call it what you want. It was here, and the reason why you no longer see a red sell zone on my chart is because today's candle closed above that zone. That for me invalidates that sell zone, and now my next higher target is up here at 47.89. So I trimmed at the top of this zone where we had some topping wick action here showing selling pressure. I wanted to go ahead and collect some profits, and I did. Now, my next target for the trade up here near 47.89. That covers what I did today in the market. I will be traveling tomorrow morning. I'm actually leaving for the airport at like 4 o'clock in the morning, traveling to a wedding in Oklahoma. But hopefully, I'll be back before the market is closed and can get some trading in the trendy room. But if not, if you don't see a trade recap from me tomorrow, you will know why, but I will be back at it on Friday. I hope you all had a wonderful day of trading. And by the way, if you're interested in trading the PMZ, day trading, swing trading, no matter what kind of trading you're interested in doing, join us in the Trendy Room. You can get a trial for $7. That gives you 30 days to hang out with Trendy John and I and get to know our trading community. It is an amazing family of traders. And so I invite you, click that link to get plugged into a community of awesome traders. As well, if you want more information on the PMZ indicator, be sure and check out my video that I go in depth about the one indicator I will not day trade without. I will link that in the description. Y'all have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.